And it follows on from all of the things that we've heard this morning. I've taken Giovanni's words here very seriously. We start off with, I don't know if you have it in Italy, but in England we have, for children, we have alphabetti spaghetti. We have pasta, which is letters, and little boys make rude words out of them. But we have some alphabetti spaghetti here, EHR, EPR, PS, PHR, okay? They are things, they are concrete, they are information artifacts. But next to them we have medical records for different aims, purposes, intentions. This isn't concrete, this is abstract. And then we have roles for doctors, for patients, for institutions. That's about responsibilities. So mixed in this sentence are very concrete things and very abstract things. And that makes this sentence really quite a difficult one to interpret. So I want to offer you a tool for interpreting it. The socio-technical concept of information. I'm an engineer. I was trained as an engineer. And in my training, I was trained to treat the engineering view of information. Our heroes here are Shannon and Weaver. They developed all the theory. And in the engineering theory of information, we can talk about bits, we can talk about terabytes, we can talk about rates of information, we can talk about capacities, we can say exactly where information is. But we can't say anything about meaning. Meaning doesn't belong in the engineering view of information. But of course, the engineering view of information is a very powerful view. Exercises a lot of power in the discourse. There's another view of information, which I'll call the communications view of information. This is about codes and denotations. What things mean, the correspondence between a code and something in the real world. And we know in clinical informatics, a great deal of effort goes into coding. Meaning is predefined. The meaning is established outside of use. So this is the world of databases, the world of markup, the world of content. Again, a very powerful world. But look, we've only got halfway up the screen. I now want to introduce the conversational view of information. In a conversational view of information, we're talking about roles and relationships and transactions. In the conversational view, meaning includes intentions and purposes. So if we use a concept like informed consent, we're operating at this level of information. But still not reached the top. Because we're talking about interpretation at this communications level, there's a higher level, we'll call it the socio-cultural level, and this is about norms and values and principles. And at this level, we negotiate new meanings and we govern our practice. Now, in the discourse that we've been talking about patient records, about health and social care, we hear discourse at all of these levels. When I observe, a great deal of the discourse at the bottom two levels tends to dominate, tends to gain priority over conversational stuff. And there are a set of people at the top here who are talking about principles and values, and the response to their arguments and their discussions are simply responses at this level. I'll give you a clear example. We have Dame Fiona Caldicott in the UK, who is the person responsible for patient information and the governance of patient information and the principles of governance, saying to the people in the Health and Social Care Information Centre, how can you demonstrate to me that care.data, an open data approach to clinical information, is safe and appropriate. And the people, the engineers at this level say, it's in a safe haven. Which bit of safety don't you understand? This is an example of miscommunication and is deeply, deeply pernicious. So, I offer this to you as a tool. When we're talking about information and information sharing, when we're talking about records, always think, which level are we addressing? Are we at the engineering level, at the communications level, where we can be thoroughly systematic? Are we at the conversational level, where our efforts to be systematic belong to the world of jurisprudence and legislation? Or are we at the socio-cultural level, where trying to be systematic is part of the problem, not part of the solution?